Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and a sincere shalom to the icon that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. Um, uh, I mean, what you're seeing on the screen is not AI. I kind of thought it was when I was looking at the video, even the beginning part of this. I swear I thought this was AI at first, but yeah, this isn't AI. Um, I mean, I'm just with all these AI videos and stuff. Um, so a little bit of a funny situation here. Three women arrested after attacking cops over a $1 pizza. Yep, over a $1 pizza. Uh, um, so I'm going to read the short little description down here. Um, It said what started as an argument over a $1 pizza price at a gas station quickly spiraled out of control. When police arrived, they offered to pay the $1 to end the argument, but the situation only escalated. Body cam shows the moment. I think her name is Nikita, joined by two other women. So what you have here is you have an elephant, you have a rhino, and you have a buffalo. I didn't make that up. I saw that in the comment board. I'm just kind of reiterating what that person said. All three women then became combative, resisted, um, and were ultimately charged with felony aggravated battery on police officers. So this is what black culture gets you, man. For all you jakes out there that like, for all you so-called black people out there that love black culture and stuff like that, black culture is given to us by Esau Edom. There is no way that we originally acted like this. We were a holy right. In fact, let me get that scripture. How were we planted? What were we before we became Negro, African American, nigger, black people, and all these different bywords? Where were we before we became Native American and Mexicano and Spanish and Dominican and all these other crazy bywords, man? What were we before then, man? Right? Because all these bywords that's given to us, they are not forefathers, which means they have no merit. They have no merit. They have no meaning because they're not forefathers. All right. Hell out of here with that Trump stuff. Um. So, let's go degenerate plane. All right. Because right now, this is why brothers have been in the spirit of healing, changing their diets and stuff like that. Because you keep ingesting a bunch of pizzas and and all and have just the American diet, right? Just the American diet. You keep it messes your spirit up. All right. See that spirit and that physical, they go hand in hand with each other. They're like pretty much married to each other. They go hand in hand with each other. That physical and that spiritual. All right. And you keep ingesting this stuff. You know. I know I keep mentioning there is at least 30 to 40 food places just around my region alone, right up the street, walking distance. Literally walking distance. You can walk to each and every last one of them if you wanted to. If you wanted to stop to eat all of them, all you got to do is walk. You know what I mean. All these readily available food spots are just everywhere. All right. So this is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? Right. So we were originally planted as a holy a right seed. So a holy seed, holy as full a right seed. Now, due to and you a lot of you Edomites have the nerve to talk about crappy, the so-called black people's crappy culture. This isn't our culture. That's the problem. That's why it's so crappy, because this is not our culture. This is not how we originally behaved. Like I said, what were we before we became African American? Y'all gave us African American. You the ones that gave us that EBT and had our women sell out for that stuff, man. Now all of a sudden that Jake is acting a damn fool about it, and so-called black people acting a damn fool about the EBT stuff. Now all of a sudden all you Edomites coming out of nowhere, and so-called black people coming out of nowhere talk about, yeah, this is crazy, man. Y'all need to get up off y'all lazy asses and go get a job and do this, do that. While I agree, at the same time, this is your stuff. We were just fine before y'all came along with that stuff, man. Like I said, I'm going to keep asking this video. What were we doing before you came and conquered us? What exactly were we doing? You had a lot of people out there. You got a lot of so-called black pastors out there talking about, yeah, we defend slavery. So thank God for slavery. Or we'd be living in grass huts. So you telling me? You rather have our people in this condition than living in a grass hut? I'd rather live in a grass hut than be in this condition. Being around this, you can't even talk to Jake, man. I'm telling you, when you get into it with Jake, you cannot even talk to them. They talk over you. They ready to pull out guns. They ready to pull out weapons. They ready to call people and stuff like that. You can't even talk to them. But where did this come from? This is not our nature. This is not us. All right. We number one, we were so hospitable towards each other, man. You know what I mean? We were so caring towards each other. This is why when you get into a brotherhood, right? This is why when you get into this thing, you know, what we in now, us at Great Millstone, man, we're hospitable towards each other, man. You know, we're caring towards one another. If we see you going off and we see you going down a wrong path, we're going to tell you. Sometimes it may be a little harsh. Sometimes it may, a lot of times it's not. Right? But if you keep constantly doing the same thing over and over again, yeah, it's gonna be harsh. But people look at that. That's how we were. That's part of how we were, man. But our people look at that, including other Israelite camps, look at that as hatred towards one another. That's not hatred. We are telling you this is not it, man. Number one, we are in dangerous times. You should not be playing around with these gimmicks and these big Israelite parties and stuff like that. Times are getting hard, man. All right, and you're just messing around. You're lying to your congregation, but they'll look at us and blaspheme us and what's that? It's a word that I'm looking for. That pretty much when you're lying on somebody, right? It's a word that I can't think of right now, right? But you'll make up all kinds of lies and stuff on us and say that we hate you. And really, it's out of love, right? But whether you hear, whether you forbear, that's not up to us, right? But this is the American. This here is the American way, man. And people, especially our people, will look at us when we say stuff about this and try to shame us, right? They'll try to shame us. This is absolutely embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing, man. And do they have any shame? Do these three walruses have any shame? I wouldn't even do. You know, I really don't even want to call them any kinds of animals, because animals I have so much more respect for, man. But these three bloats is what I'll call them for right now. These three bloats, they are not ashamed at all for their behavior, right? But this further proves who God's children are. You got a lot of people out there that say that those small hats over there are God's chosen people, or they are the real Israelites. They are the real JEWs. But the real JEWs are going to be in a really, really, really low state. And the world is not going to look at the real JEWs, right, as the people of God. They're going to be looked at as dirt. They're going to be looked at as this embarrassing display. Is how the real JEWs are going to look. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, because we sinned against the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. So now he has us like this. And again, this right here further. Where do you see any other nation acting like this on this extent? When you look at this video, and I may even put this in the description. When you look at this video, you tell me, do you see any other nation behaving on that level? Some may come close, especially Esau, since they're like the closest to us. You may have big Edomite women that may act out very similar, but not like that. When you look at that video, not like that. And again, this further proves who the children of God are. That is what you call a curse. I don't know what you people think a curse is, but that is what you call a curse. Oh my goodness. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. The Lord is the one that's doing this. All right. And again, this only further proves who the real JEWs are. Right. We're not gonna have any crazy right. Let's still go back to slavery, which a lot of you people like debunking, right? Trying to anyway, especially our people. Let's even look at slavery. Sure, other nations have been in slavery, absolutely. But do you see the play on words at that? Look at how the other nations, whatever other nation had went into slavery, right? Look at how their slavery went. Were they being tortured like the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans? Were they being tortured like that? See, it's a thing called slavery and it's a thing called genocide, right? What we went through was just a straight up slaughter, was just straight up torture. See, all the other nations, so, even though some of them went into slavery, do you see they still get to keep their heritage? We don't know who we are. We're everything. We're Muslim. We're Roman Catholic. We're all these different Egyptologists, right? We're African. You know what I mean? All these different religions, right? That alone, showing who we are, that alone should show you that yeah, our slavery wasn't even slavery. They took everything from us, man. They took everything from us. You know, this language that we're speaking, that they made fun of us for speaking, and still are somewhat to this day. If you don't speak proper English, bro, this was your language. We learned to speak like this from you Edomites, man. We learned everything as far as us speaking this messed up, defiled language from you Edomites. This EBT stuff, guess who we got it from? We got it from you. Us looking like this, sure, you can say it's lack of discipline in the food and stuff like that, but we wouldn't even have to worry about that. We wouldn't have to worry. So you don't want to overindulge anything or anything like that, but we wouldn't even have to worry about as much as we're worried about as far as the food if you didn't feed us GMO food and make it dirt cheap and give people EBT so they can go and roll up and buy that stuff. This is your stuff, Esau. You can't blame us for anything. This is your stuff. We are messed up in this messed up situation because of you damn devils. And you got a nerve to talk about EBT and stuff like that. Man, this is your shit, man. Right? Right? So let's continue on to the last scripture. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. It says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee." Right. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. You got a lot of people here talking about, doing these videos, talking about why we going through what we going through, why this and why that. When the answer is really simple, it's because we sinned against the Lord. So this is why you got a lot of people out here, a lot of our people out here that are just ungodly. You got a lot of our people that are just in everything, right? As far as every wind of doctrine. The answer is really simple. It's simply because we sinned against the Lord. It's simple. You see how being in this truth just answers a lot of the questions that a lot of people have, right? It answers so many questions that a lot of people just can't find the answer to. It's something as simple as this: why are so-called black people going through what they're going through right now? It's simple. One scripture is all you need. Deuteronomy 20:15. That's all you need. Simple. And if you don't, they don't get it. Well, no. Well, okay. Well, I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing else to do. To say to you, because you got a lot of excuses out here talking about, well, because black people this and black people that, and no, man, it's the Lord. It's the Lord. You telling me, right? See, y'all don't understand our history before we went into slavery. We were I just read it earlier. We were a holy people. We were a royal priesthood. We had royalty. We had class. We had pride in what we did, man. We were man. There was a once upon a time where all the other nations dared not touch us, man. They dared not touch us. Number one, because we had the Lord, man. Because we are the Lord's chosen. But they dared not touch the Israelites. They even looked at just the women and said, yeah, we can't compete with that. Now look at our women. And you niggas out there would still call these three bloats queens. Right? You would still call these three big, beautiful queens. A lot of the woman's problem comes from men. A lot of you men out there, you simps out there that say, well, just all making up all kinds of excuses. But they'll still be called BBWs, big beautiful women, the big beautiful queens and stuff like that. Stuff comes from you men, man. Right? So, yeah, this is all I pretty much got on this, man. It was supposed to be kind of quicker than what I made it, but it is what it is, man. I always say that, but it always ends up being longer than, once the spirit starts rolling, it's rolling, man. Right? So anyway, that's all I got on this. I'm not going to keep this, much longer, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh. BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.